I have been an overlanding and an off-road and a Tacoma enthusiast for a long time now. I got my truck in 2017 and I've been building it for off-roading and overlanding ever since. I have been through a ton of iterations, a ton of suspensions, tents, all kinds of gear, and I finally dialed my truck into a point where I actually use it a lot. I haven't changed a lot of things in a long time, and I think this is the time I want to show you guys some of the things that I think have really leveled up and made me comfortable with my overlanding and camping setup and my off-roading setup as well. So I've got 10 things today and a couple of bonuses that I want to share with you guys on what I think really helped level me up to the point where I feel comfortable out in the woods, out camping for a few days on end, if not a week or two. And I'm excited to show you all of this stuff, and I hope it actually helps with you guys on what's going to help you be comfortable when you're overlanding or camping. And there's a few fun things I got planned on showing you guys as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that and show you guys all of this stuff that I think will help level up your stuff as well. First thing I want to start with is my rooftop tent. As I said, I've been through a few iterations with these rooftop tents, and this one has been by far my favorite. I've been through the most trips with this thing. It's been with me the longest out of all the tents I've been with, and for good reason. This tent has a queen size mattress footprint on it. Me and Greer are not small people. I'm 6 foot, she's 5'8". I'm pretty broad shouldered. I like to have my space, and this tent provides that. It's small, it compacts down small. It's got a very hard shell on the outside that is going to protect it from all the elements. It's metal, it's meant to last, it's built to last, and it's built very comfortable as well. It is very heavy, that is a downside to it, but everything else, all the other creature comforts of this tent make that heaviness worth it. So I want to show you guys another reason why I like this tent so much. The inside, everything you're going to see in this tent is set up great. It's blacked out. So when me and Greer actually sleep in this, if it is sunny as it can be outside, the blackout on the inside of this thing is amazing. We don't even know the sun's coming up as long as we have all the windows covered. So as I said, I like that I have my tent leveled up. It has a good about 2.5-inch mattress. This thing is great. It's if you want to just sleep on this thing, which me and Greer have had to do. We've slept on this thing a few times. I say that it's like it's a bad thing, and it sleeps great. But the number 2 thing is a mattress. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. But the other thing it's got is it's got a moisture wicking pad underneath it to make sure if you do actually get a little bit of wetness in this, that moisture pad will help out a lot. So the tent, as I've said, coming up inside, I've got plenty of space, right? I've got plenty of headroom. As I said, 6 foot, I'm mostly torso, which is funny. So I've got a lot of headroom in this. I have no problem. Me and Greer are both sitting up. Most of the time, I'm over here. You can see where she's at. Plenty of space. I can reach way over. I'm not right up against the wall. I've got a lot of space in here. As I said, everything is blacked out, but this thing has a nice little, I don't even know what you want to call this, but you can hang it up. If you have an iPad, it's got a clear screen. You can kind of see through. It's got a lot of different station pockets. There are station pockets in this thing everywhere, and that's another reason we liked it. Another thing on the list is a diesel heater that we moved to New York, and it is more snow here than we've ever dealt with because we're from the south, but it has a diesel heater port that you can plug right into this that actually helps heat this thing. Me and her have slept in the snow, and this thing has come in very handy. There is a great rooftop view in this thing that you can see and stargaze out of. That when you roll this thing up, it makes it a great view when you actually want to use it. So this is another feature that we've absolutely loved. There's windows on both sides, there's vents, there's actually a clear liner here. There is a bunch of things about this tent that we have fallen in love with, and it's made it very comfortable. The next thing that I'm going to show you guys is the mattress. We have an upgraded mattress that took this from a great tent to an amazing tent, and that's what I'm going to show you guys next. All right, number 2 on the list, as I've already mentioned, is this hybrid mattress. This is a hybrid foam and air mattress. It folds up into what you see here, and I'm going to break this down and show you guys how it fits into this thing. It's made by 4x4 Colorado. It's an extra feature you can add on, and I highly recommend it. This thing sleeps just as good as I do in my own bed, and that makes your nights out, when you're out all day on trails or hiking or whatever you're doing, when you finally get to lay down in a bed, having a great night's sleep makes a world of difference. And this thing is amazing. It's part foam it's part memory foam on most of it, and then the other part is an air mattress that you can fill up. So just like that, it's already set up. If we wanted to, this thing will air itself up without having to do anything, and that's one of the great things about it. If you make sure both of these plugs are open, if you leave this for about 20 or 30 minutes, this thing will fill up, especially if you leave it for an hour or two. I believe that's what's recommended, is about an hour, and this thing will slowly fill up. You can already tell the foam mattress in there, which makes it great. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what we do. Using the air gun, we will plug in one hole and make sure the air can't come out on that side. Then on this side, we have this plug. I adjusted this. It had this little plastic X right in there. All I did was cut that out with a box cutter. And so you can put this in, and now I've got a spot for the gun to go in and start pumping. You can watch it. I sped this up so you guys didn't have to sit through the entire thing, but this only took 45 seconds to a minute with this Cobalt air gun. So, and you can tell it's already pumped up. So now, not only do we have the mattress, the 2.5 inch mattress pad that it came with, but we also have this foam mattress, and you can't feel it from where you guys are, but there is foam in there. It doesn't feel like you're laying on like an air mattress. It feels like you're laying on a foam mattress, which is what makes this thing so great. You don't feel like you're laying on air. Another thing is they cut this thing to fit in the tent perfect, so you don't have to worry about it moving around or not fitting. So in here, you can see everything fits good. It's cut out around the bars, so it fits in this tent perfect, which we love. It fits in every inch. When it pumps up, it really fits in. I've got it slided that way just a little bit, but it's all the way back. It's extremely comfortable to lay down in. When you see me actually lay down in this thing, I've got plenty of space. My feet are here. I can lay down. We can even leave a few things over with us. And one thing that I forgot to mention about the tent is a light strip that it comes with. I forgot to mention that earlier, but that light strip comes installed in the tent. It comes stock with it. There's a little line that comes out. You hook up to a USB, and I have the USB hooked into a battery box, or a power box in the truck bed that's all wired down to that. And that's actually going to be number 3 on the list that I'm about to show you guys next. All right, the third thing, as I already mentioned, is the power outlet in the back of my truck. If you've watched any of my camping videos already, you've already seen this thing. This outlet is what we use to power everything that we have when we go off-roading, camping for a weekend or any amount of time, honestly. But you saw the light that was on in the tent, and this is the cord that actually comes out of it that we have. It's just an extension cord USB, but it plugs into the USB port right here on the power outlet. So we've got 2 USB ports for the power outlet. We have 3 cigarette lighter outlets. Most of the time we end up plugging in our refrigerator, my CPAP, and if it's really cold out, we have the diesel heater, which I'll be showing you guys in a little while as well. The diesel heater will go into this, so we found an extra plug that put that on. So that is what the power outlet is in the back of my truck. The power outlet is only powered by a dual battery system, which is number 4 on this list that I'll be showing you guys. This power outlet was something that I thought of for a long time and tried to figure out. It took me a lot of planning and a lot of research to figure out how to actually make this thing work. If you're interested in that, I might show you guys that. Just leave a comment down in the video or down below this, and I'll go over in detail. Maybe I'll do a short to explain how I did this and hook this up. But I can't do that without the number 4, which is the dual battery system. So I want to show you guys that and how I got that done too. All right, number 4 is the dual battery system. I got this system from Juniper Overland. You can actually see that they engraved their names in the brackets that it came with. They built this system specifically for the Toyota Tacoma 3rd generation. It comes with its extra brackets. It comes with the Red Arc system that actually manages both the battery systems. It comes with everything you need that makes this a completely simple hookup. If I can find the links for that, I will set that in the description below so you guys can look into this yourselves. Obviously, it does not come with the batteries, but everything that I looked into showed that these Odyssey batteries are some of the best batteries you can use. And I've had them in here for about 1.5 to 2 years. They've been through a lot and they're working fine. I've never had a problem in the snow, winter, anything like that. They are working great. And if they do ever go out, you will hear me to be the first person to complain and talk about it. But as I said, they have everything you need. The wiring is here. I've already got it wired all the way up, and I'll show you. It comes from here with the Red Arc. It's got an extra amp system. The wiring loom comes all the way around from here and goes into where they have the second bracket. Once again, it's still got the Juniper Overland built engraved in it. It's got another amp built on top of this. And this is where it locks in. It's got its own bracket system. All the wiring, like I said, came with it. The battery is just what I put in myself. Now, from here, where I put the power outlet that you guys just saw in the back of my truck, I wired it from the back of the truck onto here. You can see I've got an extra loom here. I've also put in an extra amp that's all wired into this. This thing has really taken, like I said, this is all about a leveling up. This really leveled up my overlanding. Like I said, I have a hard time sleeping. I have to sleep with a CPAP machine. And for a lot of people, they won't go camping just because of that one reason. I'm not letting something like that hold me back from having fun. So having a dual battery system and the outlet in my truck has made it so I can actually go camping for weekends, weeks on end, which is the game plan soon, and not have to worry about how am I going to sleep tonight? Am I going to snore myself to sleep? Am I going to wake up anybody who's around me, scare off animals or anything like that? I know I'm going to sleep good, and this helps. Not only that, but I can take a refrigerator with me, and I can take a diesel heater, which we've got new, and I know we're going to be warm. I'm going to sleep well. Our food's going to be cold. All of those things have made the creature comforts that still make it overlanding. I'm still going camping, but it also makes it where I'm comfortable. And that's a huge thing to me. I don't want to go out there and be uncomfortable. I want to relax. I want to enjoy it. That's the whole point of all this, is so I can go out and enjoy and relax being out in the outdoors and knowing I can recover. I'm really leaving no surprises when I keep talking to you guys about what's coming next. But as I've already said, number 4 is the diesel heater. So this diesel heater, I saw it on Amazon, great reviews. I liked how small it was. It has a gallon or a 2-gallon tank. I will probably update that on this video somewhere once I figure out what it is. It's a 1 or 2 gallon tank. All I know is that tank lasted us all night. We've used this thing a couple of nights, and every time I've used it, it's lasted all night. If we wanted it full blast, we could have done it. We had a ton of diesel left over the next day on both nights that we used this thing. Now, as I said, it lasted all night, but we could not handle this thing cranked up all the way. We had it basically on the lowest setting most of the night, and it lasted, and we were warm and toasty. This was with, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground all night, so it was cold, especially for us being from the south. It was cold, but our tent was nice and toasty. You can't see it, but right under that black piece, that is where I showed you guys on the inside of the tent that has that big opening, and that is for the diesel hose. The diesel hose ends up connecting right here. We have one end that ends up going, and I always keep this extra screwdriver. It's an extra one that I had lying around, just so I can use to tighten this thing up, to put it on, and to take it off. That O-ring just kind of helps tighten it back down and take it off when I want it on there. I take it off because, as I said, everything I use and a lot of the things that I have that have really leveled everything up for me compact extremely small. And that's what this does. That was the reason I liked the size. It compacts small, and I can fit it in this small Plano bin. This is not one of the big Plano bins. We have those. This is one of the smaller ones. I like the size of it, and it fits. If I take everything apart, it fits in this very well. So that was a big reasoning for me buying this particular one. And as I said, I'll put a link for this one in the bottom. Now, as I've said this, as I've talked so highly about this thing, you got to learn a few things that from my mistakes. Now, the first time we had this thing, I didn't know anything about them. I wasn't thinking very clearly. I thought it would be fine on this. If you're ever wondering what this big notch is in the side of my tailgate, this is from the exhaust. Yeah, I'm a newbie, so this thing went on the side of the exhaust. I had it sitting here. It plugs into the bottom of this, and it was just sitting like this. It burned right into the side of the plastic. I know, I'm an idiot. You guys can make fun of me in the comments. That's completely fine with me. I know it was a mistake, but I learned from my mistakes. And so we learned to put it on the ground after that. I might prop it up with things. I just make sure it's in a safe area now. Luckily, nothing horrible happened. I didn't burn the truck down or anything like that. And at least I know. So do not make that mistake. If you're gonna get a diesel heater, make sure you know to put it on the ground, somewhere where it's not gonna burn anything, because this thing gets extremely hot. I actually ruined my jacket with this thing as well. So anyway, we learned our lesson for diesel heaters. And one last thing, this thing comes, I believe it comes with a normal outlet, or it comes with the 2 prongs that you can put onto a battery. I got an extra cord that has a cigarette lighter plug on the end of it for the power outlet that I've already shown you guys. So this is an extra cord. If I find the link for it, I will put it down in the description as well. So you guys will know how to get the diesel heater and get the plug for it. So you guys can use this as well. And like I said, this setup has been great for us in the winter. It keeps us warm. We've never had any complaints. A full tank will last us all weekend for this size 10 anyway. Like I said, everything in one small case. This is exactly why I like this thing. The 6th thing on this list that really leveled everything up for me was a high clearance rear bumper. So I've been through a few iterations of a high clearance bumper. The reason this all started, I was in Arkansas, I was hitting a trail, I was having a blast, and we came down on this one that ended up pulling out my bumper on the truck. And that was, honestly, most people, once that actually happens, it's a good excuse for them to actually get an upgraded bumper, and that's exactly what I did. But I went through a few iterations of that. I went through the Ironman bumper, which really didn't give me much more clearance, but it made it a lot stronger. And then I went through a C4 bumper that gave me a lot more clearance too, but it still left me with an issue. When you get a high clearance bumper, the Tacoma's spare tire hangs down a lot lower than the rest of everything else. So when you get that high clearance from the bumper, after that, you've still got that spare tire. I've been off-roading and my tire has gone bad. I've knocked the stem out of it, and luckily I had my spare tire with me. So I do not want to be without the spare tire. So it finally came down to the decision of getting a swing out on the truck, and that's where this came in. So the Out the Helms fabrication came with this really nice rear bumper with a swing out. It's high clearance. It's got this really nice handle. That was another thing that was a big factor for me. This handle is really nice. I've seen some really crappy ones, but it's got a great latch to it. It opens all the way up. It's got a pin on the inside that will lock it in. You'll hear it, and it clicks into place, so it doesn't swing all the way out, bumping anything. It clicks into place. I got the extra option for the table to swing out as well. So when we do cooking, I let down my tailgate. We've got the tailgate down. I've got this extra table to cook on. I figured if I'm gonna have a swing out, I might as well make it useful. So this table has actually been a pretty big help when we've been off-roading and cooking and stuff like that. We've really enjoyed having the extra space. We don't have to bring an extra table along. We do sometimes, but most of the time we don't even use it because of this. This was a big thing that we really liked, but the high clearance was major. Another reason that I liked the At the Helms fabrication, it came with a backup camera relocation kit with this. That is one thing that was really cool, and I was worried about. All the other bumpers did not come with something like that. You had to do it yourself. The fact that they provided that was a huge factor for me. I wanted to make sure that I could remount my camera, and knowing that I was still going to be able to use it. They already had it thought out, so even if you have a tire on it, you're still going to be able to put your camera on there, back it up. They've even got the spot for it. This was a great build. You can see when the truck's not as dirty, it has a really nice body line where the wheel well right here just goes right into it. And I think when it's all nice and clean, this looks really good. It was another thing, like, obviously we want our trucks to look good, and that was a thing that the look of this just looked really good to me. I like the swing out. I like the way it was built. It's a solid built bumper. I got some friends that I've been off-roading with, actually went off-roading this past weekend. That's why the truck is dirty, that I've backed into a few things a couple times that they have not let me live down, and had a lot of fun making fun of me with, but this thing held up great. We couldn't even tell where it hit at, no scratches or anything like that. So the bumper's been great, and the powder coating, another good thing that's worked out good. It does ship bare metal, so that is something you need to factor in if you do want to get this. I'll post a link for the At the Helm fabrication bumper in the link below as well. It is a great bumper. I've been in love with it ever since. So if you're looking for one, this is a good one. Seventh thing on my list, you guys are already familiar with. I did a video. If you haven't seen it, check it out on my YouTube. It is about the MORRFlate system and my under the seat dual air compressor by Rough Country. I have used this thing a few times since I've installed it. There's a video, like I said, if I can, I'll put it in the description, or I'll put it up here somewhere anyway, so you guys can check that out. But this thing has been amazing. I've aired down on this truck, and I've used a bunch of different airing down tools. I've used those little pins that you can just go up and screw on, and you set them, and it brings your truck tires down to 20 psi or whatever you happen to set it to. I've used the one that's got the gauge on it that pulls out the stem and puts it back in. I've used all of those, and the MORRFlate system is kind of a two-parter, but the MORRFlate system that you'll see in that video, this has been the easiest, best system that I've seen for airing everything down. You can do them all four at the same time, which I know I said that in that video like 1,000 times, so I'm not going to repeat that again after this moment. But yes, this was a great thing for that. The air compressor underneath the seat, I put this extra extension cord on it, hooked it to this, hooked it to the MORRFlate, plugged in all the tires, pumped them up, worked great. It was I hate the word game changer, but it really felt like a game changer. It moved everything along so much faster. It was a simplistic, a lot of peace of mind, and one of the best upgrades I've made to this truck. And putting the air compressor on the inside of the truck. I know it's protected. I know it's going to last a long time. The elements aren't going to get to it. So I'm really happy with the way this set up, and I think it was a great idea for Rough Country to put it underneath the seat. They're not the first ones to do it, but they are the first ones that I've seen come up with an entire kit for the Tacoma to put it underneath your seat. So I'll give them credit where the credit is due, but this has been a great system. If I can, I will post the link to this setup underneath the video, so you guys can find that as well. But being able to have the confidence of airing down and airing back up is huge. I've gotten off the road before, and my air compressor did not work. It actually went bad on me, and it sucked. We drove all the way back into town looking for a long time to have it, like, for an air compressor to get my wheels back up so I could actually drive home the right way. So if you're going to be going off-roading, you're giving yourself a huge disadvantage by not airing down your tires if you're going off-roading. And afterwards, if you want to take that advantage of airing down your tires, you want to be able to air them back up and have the confidence to do so. So installing that on my truck was a huge peace of mind to me, and it's something that I felt like really leveled up my truck and my off-roading performance since. Number 8 on this list is kind of a combination. It is the high clearance bumper with a winch. Now, I did a lot of research on these bumpers, and really what I wanted was the C4 bumper, but I did not want to pay the price for that. I didn't want to have to pay the overprice for shipping, and I did not want to pay for powder coating because they ship them bare metal. I did a lot of research. This company, Fab4, has been around for a while. They make great products, and they make them at reasonable prices. I got this one on Amazon. At the time, I want to say I paid full price, around $1,100 is exactly what I paid for this. It shipped to my house in about 3 days. It was ready to go. Now, the bumper has been great. It's got a spot for light bars. It's obviously got the spot for the winch. That's the reason I got it. I've got a few pod lights on it that work. I got one for the snow and one for the just fog lights, basically. This thing has been great for all of that, but more than anything, I wanted to make sure that it had high ground clearance, so I would stop hitting certain obstacles when we're coming downhill, and I wanted to make sure it would support my winch, and it did all of that. This is Fab4's bumpers. If I can find it, I'll put a link in it. I know there's been a lot more bumpers come out since this one. But now, the other big thing is the winch on this. I've been looking for this winch I've been looking at it for a long time. And what finally sold me on it is I was going into Harbor Freight one day, and there was a guy who had a big F350 with one of these mounted to the front of this truck, and he was loading up about 5 or 6 of these things in his truck. I stopped and I asked the guy, I'm like, hey man, obviously you must like these winches. Can you tell me about them? He's like, yeah man, I run a tree service. We use these daily, all the time. He's like, we use them over and over. We beat the hell out of these things. We have tested these things, and they're cheap, but they work great. He's like, I haven't lost one yet, and I've been running these things for about 5 years. That immediately sold me. I knew I was never going to work this thing as hard as that guy did. And so I got the 12,000 pound. This is the Badlands winch from Harbor Freight, 12,000 pound synthetic rope. It comes with the wireless remote, which this thing has been great. I can get in the truck if I need to drive and use the winch at the same time. This thing is phenomenal for that. It's never let me down, and we have used this in a few different situations, and it has been a lifesaver on both situations, or both crazy situations and a few rare situations, but in both the crazy situations, it has been an absolute lifesaver. Now, just in case you're wondering, it does have a backup. I've never had to use this before, but if your batteries end up dying on this, you can plug this straight into this, pop the hood, and plug it straight into the winch as well. This Badlands winch, you will never hear me say anything bad about. The synthetic rope has been great. It has held up through a lot of abuse, and like I said, when I've needed it, it has saved my tail. So once again, high clearance bumper, synthetic rope winch, Badlands winch. I will link both of those down in the description. It's been great. I can't say anything bad about this, and I've loved this bumper. Not my favorite look, but it works for what I need. And like I said, the price point was a huge seller for me. But anyway, that's number 8. The ninth item on this list is on this list because of how compact it gets and how much room it ended up saving me and how durable that I've heard that these chairs are. These are the front runner chairs that I've seen on YouTube a ton of times before I finally got to try one out at one of the overlanding events that I got to go and talk to a guy that had the chairs, and I sat down in them. I was afraid they wouldn't be durable enough, but Front Runner makes great products, and we've used these things for a couple years now, and I've fallen in love with them. The idea is that I can just pick this one bag up, and I've got both chairs for me and Greer in this bag, and it's extremely small. This is both the chairs in this bag. When I open it up, it's got a small divider that even separates the chairs, but honestly, most of the time, we end up just kind of squishing it down to the bottom anyway. But the simplicity of the chairs, pull one out, show you guys, loosen up both the Velcro straps, pull it all the way up, flip up the handles, and it's set up and easy to go. These chairs I thought were kind of expensive at first. They're about $79 when I purchased them for a single chair. And when you're buying both and the bag together, it adds up. But I found these on Black Friday. We waited for 2 years before we actually bought these things because I do like saving money. We bought these on Black Friday. We bought both chairs and we bought the bag together, and I have not regretted that purchase since, because this is a simple purchase, but it compacts so small and it makes it really easy to grab that one bag knowing both chairs are in it. I throw it in the back of the truck whenever we want to go off-road, go camping, and I know I'm comfortable. And it makes everything simple, and these things are sturdy. We've beaten the hell out of them. We've left them out in the rain, snow, and hot weather, everything you can think of, and they're holding up great. I haven't had one issue, not a single tear, nothing like that. They're great chairs, and they're something we sit in all night around the fire, and we're happy with them. So great chairs. I will post a link to these down below. The 10th thing on this list is the Solo Stove. This Solo Stove, once I found that there is a smokeless fire pit, that I'm not running around in circles trying to avoid smoke, because I don't know about you guys, but smoke seems to love to follow me anytime I'm around a fire. It tracks me. It seems like wherever it goes, and that's all I inhale. So when we found the Solo Stove, we fell in love with this thing. I brought it with me. I threw it in the back of the truck wherever I went if I was going to go camping, because I knew whether it had a fire pit or not, I was going to have a fire. I'd always have my wood with me. I have a fire pit, and I know it's going to be smokeless. I'm going to enjoy it and not be running around all night. The only thing, as this list has been going on, that you have noticed is that it's pretty bulky, right? And that is exactly where this guy comes in. This is a smokeless fire pit. It's almost the exact same size as the Solo Stove that I found, and we have loved using this too. So I don't have to have that bulky. I have this very extremely small, thin thing that I can also throw in the back of the truck. It makes it extremely compact, so I save a lot more room, and it's just one little thing. It comes in a bag I can grab, and I don't have to worry about the soot getting all over me, because that is one downfall to the Solo Stove, is that the soot and all the ash kind of just stays in the bottom and compacts. With this, I do not have to worry about that. It builds up together, it breaks down together, and you can just kind of dump the ash when you're done and put it all back in this bag. I'm going to show you how it goes back together now, so you can kind of see them compared to each other. setup time didn't take me that long, and you can see when it's complete, the Vargo is actually slightly bigger than the Solo Stove Ranger is. They both are smokeless fire pits, so you're gonna end up with the same result. We have tested both of these, as you can tell, a lot. We've used both of them a lot, but we use this one only for camping. We've started using the Solo Ranger more for the house. We like it around the house, and we just wanna have a fire around the house and just kind of sit out and relax, have a drink. But the Ranger, or the Vargo, we've only used camping now. They both have their ups and downs. The Vargo gets a little bit warped. It's gotten a bit warped over time, and the one downside that I've seen it is if you don't put it on maybe gravel or something like that, or in a good spot, it will burn the grass underneath. So that is one thing you need to worry about. I found that out with the first time camping with some friends. The first time I broke this out, we all noticed that the next morning, but it works great. It does keep all the smoke out. So it is, once you know that, it is a great tool to use on your camping trips to get rid of all the smoke. So I love both of these things, but if you want something a lot more compact, the Vargo has been great for us. We've used it multiple times, and we've really enjoyed this thing. So, the Vargo is number 10. I've got just a couple more things I'm going to show you guys that actually applies to this. These are a couple of the bonuses, and one of you guys even asked about, so I'm going to show you that. All right, something that goes great with both these stoves, these smokeless fire pits, is the Sundico torch. This is just an extra torch that you end up tying on to one of those normal green Coleman propane gas tanks. You just twist it onto the top of it, and now if you're lazy and kind of bougie like I am, this helps get these fires started a lot quicker. If you don't want to spend a ton of time chopping wood into small tiny little pieces and spending a lot of time getting the fire going. Greer found this for me as a Christmas gift. She used Last Line of Defense, watched one of his Christmas gift ideas, videos last year, and she ended up getting me this, and we've kind of used the heck out of it ever since, and I've kind of gotten lazy, so maybe she ruined me, but either way, it's been a great gift. All you got to do is turn the flame up just a bit. Once you hear it going, and I can hear it going just a bit, put it up to the microphone, maybe you can hear it. And once it's going, you turn it up, and then you can adjust it from there. And it's a really good way. If you're one of those pyros like I am, you can have a lot more fun with this than you need to. But I'm sure some of you crazy people can come up with a lot more ideas to use for this thing other than just firewood, but I'm gonna let that, I'm gonna leave all of that up to you guys. But great extra tool, great extra bonus thing. Last Line of Defense, once again, we love that guy. We've watched a lot. This was his idea. I don't want to steal it, but I can at least pass it along to you if you've not seen his video yet. We will post the link down in the description, just like we have with everything else. Next bonus item, guys, is extremely simple but extremely life-changing for me. When I bought my Tacoma, I've always carried around either Nalgene bottles or a gigantic blender bottle like this, and they both have extremely wide bases. And when I bought my Tacoma, it came with this extremely small cup holder that will not fit either one of these things. Z Precision, a company, came out with this a few years ago. They made a simplistic design, and all they did was widen them up. It was a simple install. It took about 15 to 20 minutes, and I could put both my Nalgene and my gigantic blender bottle in this thing and feel comfortable. Normally I have them just rolling around. I'd throw them in the back seat, I'd throw them in the passenger side floorboard and just let them roll around until I got to my destination. This is a simple change, but something that made a drastic change in my life. Anybody who knows me in my everyday life that's watching one of these videos, especially somebody that sees me at work, knows that I carry this thing around with me everywhere I go. So the simple fact that I can just throw it in my cup holder when I'm heading home from work or heading to work or from the gym, it's a simple but a huge benefit to me. I will post a link to the Z Precision ones down in the description below, but also AJT Designs. As we were researching this video, we found out they actually make one too, and AJT Designs has made a lot of really cool things for the Tacoma. So either one of those guys in support, I'll try to post both of them down in the link below so you can figure out which one you like, but this has been a great product for me as it is. If you've watched any of my camping videos, you know I am a beer drinker. So obviously my last bonus item that I'm giving you guys is going to be my beer drinking tool, which is the Growler Works Growler. You guys have seen this in my videos. If you've seen any of my camping videos, off-road videos, you know I always stop at a brewery on the way and pick up some beer to take on the trip. I don't really care where I'm going, but I always want to have a good beer around, and this thing is the best way to take beer with you. If you're familiar with most breweries, they have a growler simple like this. Just an easy jug. It's glass, simple cap on the top. They fill it up, cap it off for you. You can take it home with you, drink it whenever you feel like it. The downside of this, first of all, it's glass. I don't want to take this off-road with me. I don't want to take it anywhere other than home. The other downside to it is once you open this, the beer has to be drank within a day or two, or it goes completely flat, and then it's basically useless after that. Major downside to that. That is the reason I've invested in one of these. I was actually one of the original backers of this. It started on Kickstarter, I want to say back in 2012, and I just thought it was such a great build product that I backed it. I actually have a Kickstarter campaign handle that goes on top that I haven't installed yet. I just haven't found the need to, but that was one of the things I got as a backer with the UKEG, or the UKEG Growler Works. Anyway, that's what this thing is called. Now, why this thing is so special, other than it being a very strong material that I've dropped actually a few times, and it's got a great design, everything metal, almost everything metal on it. It's got a gauge to show you how much beer has been drunk, how much is still left in the tank. It has got a PSI gauge and a tap handle, just like you're tapping and pouring your own beer straight out of the tap. If you've seen my last video, you've watched this. Now, the other thing is the top. This is where kind of all the magic happens with this thing. So this top, when you open it up, you take the bottom out. It comes with a food grade CO2 cartridge. You can buy these anywhere, Walmart, Amazon, places like that. Get a whole stack of them come with you. But you take one of these cartridges, place it on the inside, you screw it back down, put it after the beer is poured into the keg, or the UKEG. You'll put this in, tighten it back down. There's a knob on the top of this that you will adjust. While you're adjusting this, you'll be able to see what your PSI is going to. The book you will get with this will actually have recommendations based on what type of beer that you are putting into the UKEG, and it'll tell you their recommendations for what PSI you should have on it. So if you're drinking a Kolsch, a Porter, a Hefeweizen, whatever you happen to be drinking, it will tell you what to put and what it recommends for that. So you don't have to do any guesswork yourself, and it'll keep your beer fresh and ready for you. Now, this has been a huge advantage to me. Like I said, all of these things are leveling up, and this was one thing that really leveled up. I'd just buy a couple of, I'd buy a 6-pack or 12-pack or something that I knew I really liked, and I'd take it on the trails with me. And I always had fun just drinking regular beer. But when I had this thing with me, and I know I could stop up at some new brewery that I've never been to before, and if I liked their beer, I could fill this up and take it with me. Know it's not going to break on the way, and know I'm going to have a really fresh beer. Even if I don't finish it all, I know I can still take it home with me. It's all in the refrigerator, nice and cold and ready to go, and still carbonated. And I can watch the gauge, and it's just kind of fun. It's fun to show off. It looks good in front of your friends. It looks cool when you bring it out, which is always something fun to talk to people about and show off. But that was a big thing that I really, really love this growler for. The UKEG Growler has been a huge benefit to me as a big beer drinker anyway. So these are all the things that I like to use leveling up, guys. I made one of these videos because these are some of my favorite videos to watch. I love seeing all the things that people do to level up their camping, to make themselves more comfortable while they're out in the woods and while they're out in their particular destinations that they're going to. And I wanted you guys to see it because I know I'd like to watch this video, so I hope you guys have too. Now, what I would like you to do, if you've enjoyed any of this stuff, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Comment down below. Let me know other things that you've done, that you've kind of done in your camping and your off-roading stuff that have leveled up what your experience has been, because as I just said, I'm a nerd. I love watching this stuff. I could watch 100 videos of the same stuff. It just has one thing different and a slight difference. I'm going to enjoy it anyway. So let me know what you guys thought of the video. Let me know what you've done in your overlanding experience and your camping experiences, what's leveled you up. And like I said, thanks for watching, guys. I am done rambling, so go find something else to watch. We'll see you in the next one.